Hello and welcome for the second time tonight. It is Tuesday, not for the second time, it is 10:30 and it is time for Untold Chronicles The Smoke. Thank you very much for jumping in and joining us on chat, and thank you for our players joining us as well. Let us see if this is going to work. Yeah, we are good. We have uh, video and audio. So as usual, we've only got a scant time, an hour and a half for these Untold Chronicles. So we're going to do some very quick hellos and thank yous, a few introductions, and then get on with the game. This is, I believe, chapter 5. So it's interesting to think that we've had 5 episodes already. The time is literally flying by. So as always, thank you to you, the viewers in chat, whether you are in chat now or whether you are watching on catch up with video on demand, Twitch or YouTube. Really appreciate all your support and views. One of the reasons for doing it. I want to say a big thank you to our players as well, who we will introduce in a minute. And as always, I would like to say a big thank you to Hero Forge. Many of the character images are designed using Hero Forge, a wonderful way to create your own custom miniatures and get them 3D printed. You can find them at www.heroforge.com. Please note that anything mentioned on the stream may not represent the view or beliefs of Hero Forge, a Sky Castle Studios LLC products. Please go check them out. As I say, it can inspire you and character design by playing around with the various different sort of layouts and designs. It's super good. With those thank yous, we're going to move across to our players. We're going to say thank you to you for joining us and let you introduce yourselves. So, first of all, Minty, hello, welcome. Who are you?
Hi, it's good to see everybody. I'm Laura/Larry, also known as Miss Blackthorn. I have been a bit absent lately, but I am hoping to make a full comeback.
Awesome. Um, we have a little bit of a thing there. Go follow the wonderful streamer Miss Blackthorn, and you've got the Twitch address there, which is Miss_Blackthorn. They were recently playing Pokemon Emerald. Yeah, it's good to hear that you're feeling slightly better, and hopefully you'll get onto a much better recovery soon. But it's certainly good to have you at the table tonight. Then, without further ado, move across to Gallon.
Hi, I'm James, or Jamhands, and I'm playing Galen, the Gnome Bard.
Excellent. Last but not least, a voice that you might have heard earlier, but slightly different now, Janice.
Hopefully, it will be a little bit different to the voice earlier. If it suddenly starts getting a bit rough, then we know what's coming's gone wrong. Yes, I am Stuart, or Brook729, and I am playing Janice, the High Elf Rogue.
Awesome. So, lots of things happened last session. You managed to get back to Minty's apartment, managed to do some uncovering of informations, and you were visited by a very unusual visitor who introduced himself as from the Feywild, part of one of the Fey courts, and was most interested in obtaining this pulsating, glowing red rock from you on behalf of his lord, the Ragman. He didn't force the point, but gave you information about the individual that supposedly was behind the blueprints that you've got now and the rock that seems to have travelled all the way down from the dredges. And you, I believe, are still currently in Minty's apartment, alone together now. This individual, Itchy Richard, um, departed, leaving to your conversations and thoughts. And this is where we will open the scene. Um, okay, feel free to make your plans. I really can't wait to hear what you've got in store for me.
Well, I think we definitely need to be making sure that these things are safe.
Yes, that's definitely a priority.
I think that we should look to make sure that nobody else is able to get their hands on it. I'm aware of a few places that we can take it and make sure that nobody else gets to it. And then I think we should find out a little bit more about these masked chaps. This,
Yeah. Their club doesn't sound fun in its own way.
well, how do we know without finding out more about it? Perhaps they are the right people to give this to. What do you think, Alan?
I mean, it's all a wee bit over my head, like, but yeah, sounds good to me. This this doctor guy, we definitely need to know a wee bit more about him. So let's go and deposit this stone, and then we'll go and check him out.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Okay. Just remind me, have you all had chance to sort of rest up?
I believe we had a long rest.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. I
I hope so.
I have it in my mind that you've managed to achieve a long rest. I just wanted to double check. I am going to.
Well, I've got 2 portent rolls, so that suggests yes.
Yeah. Perfect. So all your spell slots, all of your hit points, etc., are all kind of reset, and you begin to set out into the smoke. Now, you said you thought that you had a safe space, a place that would be
So
secure.
I think it was discussed in the last session around a bank of sorts that we could make use of.
Yeah.
I think it was the Gem Cutters
Yeah,
The
Guild.
yeah.
gem cutters, that was it.
So yeah, the gem cutters, or the cutters as they are more commonly known, um, their front is that they do indeed cut gems and make jewelry, and they do very, very well at it. The secondary function is kind of the official thieves guild of the smoke. Now that might sound strange, an official, a legal thieves guild, but sometimes not within the smoke, but with dealing with other countries or cities, it is sometimes needed for certain actions to be taken, and the cutters are called in to do such things. Likewise, there might be items that are illegally brought into the smoke that are uncovered that need to be dealt with as well. So maybe Thieves Guild is perhaps the wrong word, but they certainly do act in that way. They don't. Uh, they don't organize crime. They're not a criminal faction. They're almost fire to fight fire, as it were, really. Um, and quite often, the Cutters, an official guild, deal with some of the more criminal lowlife that need to be brought into check. You know a couple of places, Janus, that you could possibly do this. There's a number of safe houses that are shops with safe places. You've never truly met the guild leader. His name is James Cutter, although to many of the people that unofficially work for him, he's known as Diamond Jim. He hangs out in the splendour in the headquarters of the Cutters Guild, this magnificent jewellery shop. So you have a number of options there. You can go to one of the subsidiary places that you face might well be known, or you could try and bring this to the attention to the head of the cutters if you think it is of such a great importance.
I think that going somewhere that Janus has been before would probably be a little bit more kind of trusting that it's safe, rather than going into the splendor and drawing attention.
Mm-hmm. That is perfectly sensible. So you begin to set off, having had rested. A question to you, Minty: are you taking Blinky with you?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, how delightful!
So Blinky is obviously keen on a road trip. Quite often you leave. Is it a they? Is it a him? Is it a her? Or is it a they?
Minty refers to Blinky as a him, but she doesn't really know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
She's
and
not quite sure how you check.
exactly, which is fine. So you set off through the streets of the neighbourhood. It's going to take you a little way. You're going to have to get to the edge of the breeze, which is just where the neighbourhoods become more and more expensive. And there's one or two places there, jewelry shops, that you know. There's one in particular which is a pawnbroker's, technically speaking, but obviously it deals in jewelry, and it is a base for the Cutters Guild. So you begin to meander through the streets. This is where I can do some really cool stuff, because I get to look at everybody's special abilities. Yeah, something's about to happen. Something is about to happen.
We're all sure Minty totally knows this and is totally aware of her surroundings.
Mm,
So,
well,
so I get to roll a yeah. Fortunately, you don't see it until it is too late. You are enjoying
good.
the air, making your way as calmly as you can down one of the neighborhood streets. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then leaping off a roof, landing in front of you, is something that looks like this.
Oh,
You instantly recognize it. We'll zoom in for the chat on here and we'll share this. You instantly recognize it as a Klugstein butler, except this butler is armed with a sword and looks at intent rather on dealing with you. It mechanically but quite dexterously moves forward in a menacing way and says, the items now. It looks like it's in no mean way to talk. You have scant moments to decide to try and flee, to try and fight, or to pass over the obvious items it wants for you. You can all give me insight rolls.
oh,
Oh, that was so close.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, so it is a 15 or higher. There's something odd about this. It seems to know. It seems to know that you were here. It seems to know where you're going. It seems to know that you have the items. There's something about the way that it speaks that seems to have no doubt in its mind about what is going on. what would you like to do before we go to initiatives? You have basically time to quickly react.
Well, I don't think we really want to be handing this over, do we, guys?
No.
Okay, so it sounds very much like you kind of look at each other and you
Stand our ground.
stand your ground. In which case, then I would like initiative
So,
rolls off
incoming
everybody.
TPK.
Yeah. Absolutely.
In fact, if it's going first.
It is indeed going first, and it is going to. Just remind me who's carrying the things at the moment.
I would assume Janice and her magic
There's-
skirt.
there is a strange gem in my
There is indeed a strange gem, and that reminds me as it moves forward.
Crimson Stone, and yeah.
And it does decide to have a swing at you. Do, 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 do. Wow. What is your armor class?
14.
Yeah, it's not 18, so it doesn't critically miss as this fast rapier sort of strikes out towards you, and you just manage to move out of the way. And then we move to you, Janice.
Well, it looks like we're going to have some fun here, doesn't it? As Janice pulls out from her magical skirt, a little push dagger, and is going to attack.
Give us a
And
roll.
see how badly this goes.
Oh dear,
Badly.
dear. Yeah.
It's check. Not crit, is it?
It's not a critical
Okay.
miss at the moment. You'll be pleased to know. This is a modified nimble right for people that recognise it. So,
Thank goodness.
I'm assuming, is there anything else you want to do?
No, I think we will do that.
Okay, then we move to Gallon.
Yeah, he'll kind of circle around it.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Sorry, yeah, no, it's my fault. The default is tokens are locked, but I can do something about that.
Yeah, so he'll just circle around it, and all the while he's just kind of cussing it, calling it a rusty bag of bolts, and casting a vicious mockery.
Very nice.
So I think that should be a save.
Boom, boom, boom. It has magic resistance, but it still fails.
Ooh.
So yes, very good.
So that's 1 damage.
Okay.
But it does have disadvantage on its next attack.
Indeed, that is potentially a life-saving action there. What do you say to it? How do you viciously mock this thing? It is a metal man designed to be a servant that seems to have been turned into some kind of tracking assassin, and it's missed.
Yeah, he's taken off guard, so it's nothing, not his finest work. He is literally just calling it a rusty bag of bolts.
Perfect. That is more than enough to affect it, and it does distract it. Minty.
I'm going to cast Mind Sliver on it.
Ooh.
It does succeed, this magic resistance. Only just, though. Only just. You notice that it's not the strongest of intelligence that it has. Anything else?
think she'll say, Blinky, get him.
Blinky blinks, and what does Blinky do?
I can roll 2d4s to decide which eye rays he uses because they're not attacks.
Yeah, I'm more than happy with that.
So first is the dazing ray.
hmm He's not dazed, but is he confused? I think you have to re-roll, don't you?
Yep. Blinky, stop trying to make you your friend and kill him.
The rest of the stream is Blinky rolling a d4. Yeah, so what is
I'm
number
getting a
2?
1 each time.
The fear ray.
Ooh, it is immune to being frightened, unfortunately. So,
Bad times.
yeah, it is, unfortunately. I'm quite interested if you want to try and apply the effect and see whether it will.
Yeah.
It's basically programmed in that he's immune to being frightened,
Yep.
but I'm interested to see whether if you try and put the condition on, it says nope.
Yep, it does.
Yep, there we go.
Right.
Lovely job.
That
That is Blinky's
is
go.
Blinky's go.
And then we move across, and it seems intent on you.
Oh, good.
And for some unknown reason, but it does have disadvantage on its attack.
Obviously, it recognised talent.
No, it's kind of distracted
No.
by.
Let me have this. It's recognising talent, and that's why it's going for me.
Wow. And yeah, that disadvantage definitely made a difference. As again, it tries to stab at you and it just misses, but quite unemotionally. It's got this. It's got this. It is a construct. It's cold-blooded. It has been programmed to do a job. Okay, and then we move to back to you.
Well, if the dagger isn't going to do anything, then the rapier is going to have to come out as Janice drops the dagger and pulls a rapier instead out from the dress.
Perfect.
It's quite impressive, really, where these things magically appear from.
It surprises me.
As we go for another attack.
Ah, very
There
good.
we go. That's better.
Unfortunately, the 26 for it to be a critical hit against this metal man.
Don't think we're managing that anytime soon.
Yeah.
But I will sneak attack.
Yeah, absolutely. That's very nice. But again, you recognise that it's made
It
of
seems to
metal. It
clink
kind of
off
clinks
and
off. Nasty scratching. But you've done some damage to it, you'll be pleased to know.
oh, good.
Move back to Gallon.
So did it seem like that didn't do as much damage as it should have done?
No, I mean the weapon that Janice used definitely, but your vicious mockery, no, it did the right amount of damage.
Okay. And just to catch me up a little bit, what do we know about these things?
Okay. As a reminder, this is kind of the thing that started it all off. Hugo Klugstein, the person whose workshop you got the blueprints from, a couple of years ago, he was arrested because many of his mechanical contraptions had gone wild and killed their masters. He was up on some serious charges. Some people saying he was the one that programmed them or he was behind the murders. The murders were most foul as well. We were talking about, sort of organs being removed and the like. But a mysterious benefactor stepped in and got Hugo Klugstein out, defended him, and he was found not guilty. His machines, yes, but his machines were sold, and at the point of them being sold, they could easily have been tampered with by other people. But he was disgraced and thrown out of the Horology Guild. And he met up with Stephen Sinclair, a friend of yours, and he had his secret workshop, and he was the one that sent the letter to say, go to my workshop, get these things, I'm in danger.
Okay. So in terms of like how they work, do we know like do we know anything about how they'd work?
I mean, it's quite simply a construct, really. A mechanical man. They should be designed to be butlers. What this one is doing with a rapier attacking you, this should not be happening.
Gallen's gonna try. He's gonna try casting command.
Okay.
And he's gonna tell it to shut down.
Okay. So target it, and I believe that's a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah. Let's try that.
So the magic washes off. It seems to be heavily protected from such things, and it just ignores your words.
Fair enough.
Okay. Anything else you want to do?
No, that's all.
Okay, and then we move to Minty.
I'm gonna give Mind Sliver another go.
Mm-hmm.
Stop trying to hurt my friends.
And again, it seems to be protected somehow from magic. It's finding it very difficult to make it stick. And with that, we move across to Blinky, unless you wanted to move or anything.
Nope. I'm fine where I am.
So, yeah, no fear effect.
And then
Number 1, trying to make it a friend. It fails.
Oh.
So it's charmed. So this gives it what disadvantage, and its speed is halved. Wow, that is useful. As it becomes dazed, it's a charmed effect, but it's more like the cartoon with like the canaries flying around his head. Boop, 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 as he kind of does not
Are they little
compute.
blinkies?
Yeah, little blinkies go around his head. That is amazing. Which is good because it's its turn, and once again, hopefully the disadvantage will auto work.
it should.
Oh, good.
Which is good again, making it. I think that's the third 8 in a row that I've rolled for its attack. And this is a terrible looking rapier. You can see it can do quite a large amount of damage if it actually connected. Then we move back to you, Janus.
My rapier doesn't seem to be doing quite as much here.
Yeah.
And
Well, technically
It's a little bit
speaking,
more
it is,
accurate.
because like you're hitting it and it's not hitting you.
well, yes. And I think that we probably have to continue this because I've not got many other options. As I'm going to shout at it, "What would Hugo think of you doing this?" As I stab at it.
Ooh, and you just about hit. Well done. Very nice.
I forgot to add on sneak attack.
So you can roll another. Is it?
Which would imagine be halved.
Second level is still only 1d6, yeah?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
I'll increase that.
D&D Beyond believes so.
Yeah, no worries. I've put 1 point extra on. Then we move to you, Galen.
Okay. just before I do anything, how long does that daze thing last for? Is that just until its next turn?
Yeah, it will fade. It's a single round, so I think at the end of Blinky's turn.
Right. Okay. Okay. Galen's just gonna close the distance, and he's gonna aim for a weak point on his back with his rapier.
Cool. Go for it.
Sorry, I'm just trying to find my
That's okay.
thing. Right. Will this automatically do advantage, or do I have to?
You don't get advantage on your attack. It gets disadvantage on its attack.
Sorry, I just remembered we're not doing flanking.
Yeah.
Okay, let's give it a try. Nope.
Okay. That's not a critical miss though. Is that your go?
Yeah, I can't really do anything else. So yeah.
Cool. And then we move to
You're a
Mint.
bard. You can always do something else with your bonus actions.
Yeah.
Well, I can heal someone, but
If you wanted.
or I
Bardic
could, yeah.
inspiration. Minty, your go.
And Minty's just going to say, I don't like this game you're playing, and use Firebolt.
And it misses, shooting past all of your companions.
Minty, what are you doing?
I don't know anymore!
Yeah, this is a terrifying thing, and you know that the stories that they took people down and they cut them apart and took out their organs. Many people died to these contraptions, but Blinky,
Really likes trying to make it scared.
yeah,
Fear me.
Ooh,
Oh,
Frost Ray.
it's a frost ray. You do. Oh no, it's a saving throw,
Nope.
so it just succeeds. I thought that was an attack roll with a frost ray, but no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like a mini beholder, isn't it? And then we move up to here. It is unfortunately not. Unfortunately,
Come on, 8.
not.
No disadvantage
No
this time.
disadvantage. Oh wow! 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 This is supposed to be a terrifying encounter that you're all kind of at its
Oh,
mercy.
I'm well aware that one crit from this and we're all screwed.
Yeah, no. That is critical failure. So I'm going to say that as you hit it, or as you were trying to hit it in the back there, Galen, you managed to jam something in it, and that caused it to critically fail. And it's going to miss its next turn as you hear horrible grinding of gears inside as it's trying to force its way through to get going again. So it's going to miss its next turn because of that critical failure. That is awesome. And then we move to you, Janice.
Oh, that sounds horrible. Please go away. Stab.
Oh, swings and roundabouts.
Oh, all the ones.
Well, you got a 7 in there as well.
There's a
I mean,
7 in there as well.
admittedly, that could have been much better, but it could have also been much worse. And it is now heavily wounded. This thing is, if a thing could be blooded, it would be. You've battered it quite nastily. That is very good. Then we move to Galen.
So because it's seized up, do I think I'm going to be able to move away from it?
Yeah, I'll say that. Yeah, you should be able to disengage and move back. Absolutely.
Galen,
Okay.
get back here.
I'm just going to step back a bit and then just start hurling abuse at it again.
Okay.
Uh,
Oh, and this time it fails.
okay.
And you do a full 3 points of damage, and it's got disadvantage on its next attack. And as far as I'm aware, it is literally its next attack, isn't it? Rather than a timed thing. Must make and has disadvantage on the next attack roll it makes before the end
Before
of the
the
next
end,
turn. Okay,
Yep, that's me done.
very nice. We move to you, Minty.
Minty's basically going to be like, "You've got this, Blinky. You're awesome." And
No,
she's
no,
going,
Minty, please help.
she's going to mage armor herself,
Okay.
since she doesn't currently have that on, and it might help.
Yeah.
Minty, you look fabulous in that, but please help.
Brilliant. And you're kind of moving a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. And then we move to Blinky.
Yeah. Once again,
Frightened,
Blinky,
be
yeah.
frightened, be frightened, be frightened.
Ooh.
And then Ray of Frost. Yeah, it does fail.
Heck yeah.
What was it messing around at?
What? Blinky, what?
Blinky,
Yeah.
you're a good boy.
Wow. Is that actually right? 3d6. Wow. They are deadly.
It's their only damaging thing
Yeah,
other
yeah.
than fighting, but it's so effective. It's just obviously their DCs never get higher, so early
Yeah.
level, brilliant.
So do you wanna describe what happens there?
While Minty chooses to believe that it's because of her praise, Blinky, in his naturally aggressive ways, sees that this creature is sort of frozen up, and he's like, "I'll do one better," and literally freezes it.
Yeah, and this ray and it does from the bottom up form huge frosts of ice, and it's trying to defend against it, trying to move, but the fact that it was incapacitated before is even worse, and it just and it burns itself out to a degree of just not being able to move anymore as it is destroyed. Well done.
I mean, up until that last frost rate, what were with the dice?
Excellent. So what would you like to do? There's a degree of commotion in the street. All of that only happened in 18 seconds. This thing leapt off the roof, landed down here, and was specifically going towards you, Janice.
I think Janice will
I-
start to prod it a little bit
Yeah,
just
I
to
was gonna
check
say,
that
I'd
it's
like
not
to
moving.
give it a look over to see if there's any sort of orders in a missive form on it, or
Give me an
anything
investigation
slightly
roll, please.
responding to our rock. And not with that alone.
Can I help with or investigate myself?
Yeah, give us an investigation yourself.
Gallon's just gonna have a look around and see if there's anyone like acting suspicious or
Perfect. Yeah, give us a
Other than us.
perception roll.
We're never going to
Andy,
catch
can I request
anybody,
some
but hey,
different
it's
dice?
fine.
This is marvelous. Like you're all in shock. What's look at and you don't see anything particularly obvious upon it. There's no one really particularly watching either.
I mean, let's face it, all of us are now just kind of secretly keeping an eye on Blinky after just seeing what happened there.
Yeah,
Considering that Blinky did enough damage to kill any one of us.
absolutely. But no, there is nothing. You can give me insight rolls if you want. Where we're going
I nearly
into.
had that 20.
Yeah, I know.
Hey,
So
Minty's a people person.
so it is you, Minty. This makes little sense, but there needs to be an answer out there. How on earth this knew where you were, how it attacked you, and particularly attacked Janice. There needs to be an answer, but these things might seem like random, but this is no random thing.
Somebody wanted it to get us, but I mean, who?
How did it know that we had anything, and how did it know I had it?
I don't know. I there's
Okay.
got to be a way, but I don't understand it.
This is one of the Klugstein butlers, isn't it?
Yeah,
It was made by the same person as who put together these blueprints and was working with the stone. Maybe he knew something. Maybe he's responding to that.
maybe.
Has anyone seen you hiding the stone?
You say that they may be following me. They know me. Well,
Well, I mean, it went straight for you, so either it knew to target you, or it's able to detect the stone.
Maybe.
in which case if it can detect where the stone is, we can't leave it just hidden somewhere, can we?
Hmm.
Perhaps it is safer to keep it with us.
Maybe. But we could also go ask them if there's anything sort of cast on the stone. They should know from working with gems if this one's got anything sort of tacked on, as it were.
But I was going to take us to just a pawn shop. They tend to just keep things hidden for a while for me rather than necessarily doing much assessment. We could look for one of the higher market ones and see if they'd have a look at it as a gem. But do we want people knowing that we've got this? If people are looking for it.
I think either way we should walk and talk, because people are starting to look.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to set off, leaving this construct in there nervously. I'm guessing that you are all sort of looking around now.
Yeah.
I like to point out that I don't think any of you took any damage in that encounter, which is absolutely amazing, considering it could virtually one-shot all of you.
Yep.
Okay.
I get the feeling that we might need somebody with some hit points and hasty.
No, it's all good. So you set off, and are you heading out to this pawn shop first? It is the closest. You're kind of almost there, and your contact there might be able to help you out. I mean, they're all part of the Cutters Guild, so um, there are more skilled people than others, but these are
Yeah.
professionals.
I think we'll continue there for now and see if they know, if they consider they are safe to defend from something like that, or if
Okay.
there is somewhere a little bit safer, even if it costs a little bit more.
And they might have some interesting things.
They might, yes.
So
I know you
you
do like your curiosities, Minty.
uh, you make your way through the streets of the smoke, and obviously, as a bit of ambience, there is the smog once again that is prevalent in here, and it's beginning to rain, this light acidic rain that is caused by the pollution in the air, and you pull your coats and hats closer to fend it off. But a scant 10 minutes more find you outside of um, this pawn shop. It's basically got a sort of a wrought iron sort of raven that is kind of rusting as the sign, and it's just swinging in the breeze, the acidic rain corroding it even more. So it looks like it was once painted black, but it's pot marked now red rust, and it looks like it's bleeding really. The windows are filthy, and there's a large barred gate for the entrance to it. You know this is, and you can kind of see through, and you can see your contact there, an individual called Ivor Lim, and a dwarf. He's sitting on a high stool behind sort of protective bars at the back of the store, and you have to ring the bell basically.
I'll go up and ring the bell.
He kind of squints. He takes one pair of glasses off and puts on his big sort of goggles and squints again. Then you hear a sort of buzzing sound, and you know it's safe to open up the doors.
I'll push the door open and step in. Ivor, you really must stop keeping me waiting like this, darling.
Hey, you know, it's a relatively safe neighbourhood here, but we do occasionally get visited by undesirables.
I'm standing right here, darling. No need to talk about me like that.
So I'm assuming you got something profitable for me.
Oh, you know me. I always happen to find little trinkets here and there and like to keep them safe. And I might have come across something that is needing to be looked after for a little while. That
You
I
mean
would want back afterwards, though.
something that is hot, that God knows how many
Oh,
people are after, and you want to put my my head on the block for you.
for the right price, of course.
Well, you're speaking my language now. And he kind of
Of course.
smiles, and you notice one of his teeth are plated with gold. And are these your associates?
Oh, these? Never seen them before in my life. You know how it is.
All right, need to know basis then.
Yeah.
Hello, non-friends of Janus. Coming in.
Hi.
Close the door. What the hell is that?
That's no way to talk about Janice.
I like you
Thank you.
already.
Don't
Ah,
don't worry about the floating eye.
I'm not worried. I'm more like, that's awesome.
Would you like one?
No, no,
Oh,
I don't think I want one. But yeah.
Don't worry, that's not the thing you have to look after.
All right.
although it would make a very good guard eye.
Well, yeah, if all those eyes work, I guess it would stop those. That's why I have all the glass and the bars to keep everything away from people's sticky little fingers. Uh, and that's why you're staying that side of the barrier, Janice.
Oh, you flirt. Yes. Well, we do have something then that would like to be hidden away for a little while.
Okay. Well, are you just passing it across in a bag? Need to know, or you want me to take a look at it? What's the score?
At this point, Janice looks over towards Gallon to see what his thoughts are.
Just out of character, didn't one of you say that you were going to ask him to try and identify it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, if we're happy with that approach.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's go with that.
And in that case, Janice will reach into the skirt and again somehow and magically seeming to almost pull it from an extra dimension, almost pull out this stone and place it on the table in front of him.
Yeah, stick it in the party sheet.
Find it again. There it is.
Mm. Okay. You want me to tell you what it is, how much it's worth, etc. I've not really seen anything like this before, so it is. He burps, bespoke, as it were. Um, hmm, just a minute. He kind of gets his goggles and starts playing with the lenses in and out. Right. And he begins to sort of test it out with various items about hardness and whether it conducts electricity. You see it sort of spark and the like. This takes a good sort of 10 minutes whilst it's going on. He's doing it on the front counter, so he's in plain sight of you all. But you do have 10 minutes if you want to do something else.
Minty's
Yeah, go on.
going to have a look around, partly in the hope that she might find a pearl so that she can identify things in future, but also just out of curiosity of all the things that are in here, because she doesn't get a chance to actually go places that often,
Yeah.
other than to go to work and then get told to go home.
Absolutely. There is a number of gems here and sort of jewelry. And you do see that there is quite a gaudy brooch. It's quite large and it's not really particularly stylish, but you notice in that it's kind of shaped like a flower, and in the center of the flower is quite a large pearl. Um, you could easily pop that out of its setting, and you think it would work for what you want. But it's obviously not cheap. The whole thing is going for about 120 gold.
Minty will poke Janice and
Yes.
sort of tug her over. I want to get that. Can you help
Well,
me?
I mean, I don't tend to steal from the people that I work with. It
No, no,
tends
no,
to.
no, not like that. Not like
Oh,
that.
oh.
You're good with words and we're both pretty, so maybe we can
Oh,
sweet talk
is that
him.
what you're planning to offer him for it? Oh, well, Minty,
No,
you.
Janice! I don't even
Oh,
know him.
well, I'm sure he's very happy to get to know you.
No.
Okay. How much money do you have so we could perhaps purchase it normally?
I've got 160 gold.
Well, do you see how much it's worth, or were you wanting to see if you could barter him down a little bit?
Maybe barter him down. Maybe.
Out of character, is this where we get into the interesting question of at what point is 100 gold worth
No,
of pearl?
I've managed to
Not
fill
when-
3-hour games with that question. You think this will suffice for the component to cast Identify?
Cool. In which case, we'll pick it up and walk it back over to the.
Yeah, that's okay. Just for those of you in chat, a philosophical question that Stuart was just asking is: if you purchase a pearl for less than 100 gold, is it a pearl that is worth 100 gold or more, and therefore does it actually function as a component for the Identify spell, which needs to be a pearl that's worth 100 gold or more?
You get into similar questions as you travel around, and different
Yes,
areas have more or less pearls. Does that change the value of the pearl?
exactly. And I have various techniques, but for the moment and the brevity that we don't waste 3 hours arguing the point, this will function as a component for Identify. So yeah, I'm assuming you can't pick it up. It's behind some heavy protective
right.
glass. I mean, this is your typical sort of pawn shop that you see in the movies. Everything's in cabinets and screwed down and protected.
And it seems to have become more protected since Janice started visiting it for
Yeah.
some reason.
Quite possibly. He's sort of concentrating on what he's doing at the moment. As for other things, it's primarily jewelry that is here. It is the cutters, after all. But there are one or two sort of more interesting items of jewelry as well that you might think might be magical. There's a selection of different rings. Without the spell detect magic, it would be almost impossible. But there's those trays where you kind of have rings in. Again, all of them behind heavy glass. But it seems that this shop most definitely deals in jewelry and gems more than sort of just random curiosities. Time passes 10 minutes and he sighs. He kind of looks up and says, "This thing is, well, I would say dangerous. I like to protect myself, so when I'm working out what an item is, I don't overly open myself up to it. I have no interest in bonding with such things. But what I have determined is this thing is unusual. It is not an item as such. I know it looks like an item, but it is a fragment of some kind of consciousness. It's kind of crystalline thought.
Oh,
Well, that is quite peculiar.
I don't know if that means anything to you. I'm not entirely sure of the use of it. I mean, maybe some kind of mage could take it and manipulate it and expand upon it. Um, it doesn't seem to have a particular practical use, but I had to be careful. I think if you open your mind to it, it might try to bond with you or take your mind or your sentience. I don't know. Uh, it's making me feel uncomfortable. Where did you get it?
Is this really the question you wish to know?
I'm just curious. As I say,
found it.
I'm not overly interested. If you just want to pay me some coin, I can ensure it's protected. Up to you. Up to you. You all look a little nervous. You've come to the Cutters Guild for protection of this item, which means you don't think you can protect it yourselves, which means that you're not telling me everything. It would help me protect this if you could tell me who's after it and why you think it needs to be left here rather than just carried around with you. But that is up to you.
Well, on the way over here, we had a one of those butlers tried to steal it off us.
Well, I thought they were all destroyed. I'm sure the prints I read it a year or so ago.
We can tell you that one is very much destroyed.
That is good. There doesn't seem to be anything here that is allowing you to be scried upon or followed. I mean, those items are relatively common, but there isn't any kind of anything upon this stone to indicate that that's its function.
Well, that's reassuring.
Sort of.
Did you get anything else from where you found this? Any sticky fingers?
Oh, what do you think of me? As I pull out a strange gem.
Right. And how long have you had that?
Oh, I just happens to found it. Why?
He tentatively flips open a box that is quite clearly quite thick and made of some very
Lead.
black dark metal, and picks it up and puts it into the box and shuts the lid.
Um,
Where did
would
you
that
get it
be
from?
what? Would that be the thing that they were using to find me?
Well, I don't know. I mean, did you randomly find this strange gem somewhere, totally unassociated with this item?
This is
I
one
mean,
where Stuart tries to remember where we picked it up if it was in the same point.
What
Payment from Masky Man.
it was
Was that the payment from the Masky Man?
you were literally given it from Dr. Wendell.
yeah, it was in the box of gems, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That explains a lot, actually.
Well, a person who I thought was potentially trustworthy at the time gave it to me as payment.
And you just thought, well, that's pretty. Yes, of course you did.
Oh,
Of course you
I
did.
thought you know me so well. But no, I hadn't had chance to come and see you about it yet.
Well, I've seen these before. They are focuses for scrying and tracking, and it is no wonder they've probably heard everything that you have said: clairaudience, clairvoyance, scrying. Have you discussed your plans whilst having this stone upon you?
That is most likely, yes.
Well,
I think we might need to change our plans, it seems.
Yeah, does
The-
seem like a good idea.
This gem, would it only be scryable by somebody who had previously used it? It wouldn't be anybody who could just listen in.
I would guess that it would be the person that gifted to you would be attuned to it.
Yes. I think it may be safest than if the item that we're looking at here was perhaps protected at a different location to protect yourself.
I think that's a very jolly good idea as well.
Well, we wouldn't want to put you in any harm's way, of course.
Well, I think I am far too useful to you that is exactly the thing. I'll keep this strange gem in this box and I'll get it disposed of professionally, if that is acceptable. And no, I know you're about to say it, I'm not giving you any coin for it.
Oh, spoil
Just
sport.
Just out of interest, though, if we do that, won't they think that we've left it here? So maybe we should take it with us and then give them a different lead.
I like you a lot. I think that is a jolly good idea.
Are you able to give us the lead box or whatever it is?
No, I'm afraid not. I've only got the one, but it is for sale.
Of course it is.
And he smiles.
And talking of things that are for sale, that the pretty pearl back there.
Yep.
It looks very nice, but it's rather expensive, isn't it?
Really? I thought I'd already discounted it.
But have you applied the friends discount? Regular customers and people who bring you nice things so
Bring
often.
danger to my door.
Well, would you rather be bored and sitting around having nothing to do?
He kind of smiles widely. Give me a persuasion roll. If people are helping, if Minty you are kind of
Yeah.
helping with this, then that is fine. If you are involved in this as well, Galland, you do have bardic inspiration. I'm just
Does Callan want to have anything to do with this?
yeah, no, absolutely. I'm just kind of saying that you have
Sorry.
options should you wish to do it. You can
So,
talk
Yeah.
out of
Minty,
character.
Are you aiding Minty?
Yep.
And if so, how? Are you
Um,
just going to try and look at him adoringly?
kind of, yeah, just being cute and sort of trying to look sort of that sort of doe-eyed innocent to a degree that makes you feel kind of bad for how stupid they are.
Okay.
Wait, just once again, what's your intelligence on this?
On the positive here, intelligence is technically my highest stat at 15.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
She knows people. That's the
Cool.
thing. She's good with people,
I-
not with the world.
I hope that is enough for advantage there, Andy.
It is indeed. It is indeed.
Yeah, when the negotiations start, Gallen's just going to kind of prop himself up against the wall, and he'll pull out his little whistle stick, which is essentially like a penny whistle, and then start playing a tune on it. That's designed to kind of relax people and make it just kind of chill them out a little bit, and essentially give bardic inspiration.
Excellent.
Is that a D6?
It is indeed.
Every little helps, though.
It does. Yep.
Every little helps. And he just comes, look, yeah, we can sort this out. He fetches the item. I tell you what, this and the box together, we'll call it 90. Can't say fairer to that. But I'm going to need you to do something for me.
Oh,
Nothing too tricksy. I've just got something that I want taken to James Cutter, and I'm sure I can trust you and your discretions to do this. Doesn't need to be straight away, but sometime over the next couple of days if you're heading down to the Splendor.
Oh, well, you know me, I'm always up in the Splendor, where you find the most delightful people.
Excellent. Are we of agreement then?
I think we have a
That
deal
sounds
there.
good.
Minty, you have the money, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, take the money off. Let me somehow remember how to do this. There we go. And there we go. Don't know whether that will work. Aha. So boom, boom, boom. That's that, and then I need that there. So I think there's a way I can do that as well. Perfect. So this is important. Please make sure this item reaches within the next couple of days, and he passes you quite a large ruby.
Oh my.
Oh my, that is very impressive.
And
Very
then
shiny.
you get the pearl as well.
I'll take that. You can take the pearl.
Yay.
And
Are you
is
gonna?
it safe to assume that he's given us a box for the strange
Yeah,
gem as well?
yeah. So you can take that, and that's currently in the lead-lined box. So with that, Ivor says, I think that is business done. A pleasure as always. And let's make sure that stone that needs to be delivered to James Cutter is delivered. Yes.
Oh, of course. Yes.
not a case of I'm trusting you. It's a case of you know what will happen if it doesn't arrive in the condition that I sent it.
Either I am hurt that you would think such a thing of me.
I didn't say I think it of you. I'm just merely explaining. Sorry, Master Gallan, you were trying to say something.
Is this delivery time sensitive?
Sometime over the next couple of days is fine. But I don't want excuses that you lost it or it got taken from you.
Are there people out there who would take it from me?
Well, it's worth 500 cogs, so yes, 5,000 cogs, he says. 500 gears.
Well, we'll make sure we get it delivered before Jonas spends it.
Oh, spoil sport.
Splendid. Well, I think that is business done. And he kind of hits a big button and there's a buzz, meaning the door is open.
Just before you go, this if we're sending people off with this stone, any rivals that you want us to send them to? Anybody who's annoying you?
Interesting. We don't overly work upon vengeance, really. But it's a distance and it could be a trouble. But we're having some issues with a number of people that are dealing organised crime. It's a little bit of a dangerous area, but if you could drop it off at a tavern called the Slippery Eel, that would be very appropriate.
How much does any of our characters know about the Slippery Eel?
It depends streetwise, basically. So this will be history if you think that your characters would know about the Under. It seems that you are
I'm not
definitely
heading into that area of town.
And she's given herself a migraine.
Oh wow! The big rolls are coming out. For information
Galen, I
on
think
the Slippery
you told
Eel.
me,
Yeah, go on.
Galen, you told me about how lovely the jelly deals are there and how terrible everything is when you do go there. We're not going anywhere near there, are we?
Oh, we're not going there, but we can send them off in that direction instead of sending them here.
Yes, good thinking.
My brain hurts.
Don't worry about it, darling. Just avoid the Slippery Eel. I hear they have cockfighting over there. It's terrible.
How is that fun?
I don't know, but there's something about it costing an arm and a leg, and I'd have no interest in finding out more.
That sounds a lot.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't think I like that place.
Well, we can say a few words about it outside and start heading off in that direction. Put the put the stone into a box, and they'll hopefully use that as where we're heading.
Yeah.
Okay. So Ivor bids you farewell and says, do the job. If you do the job well, you'll go up in the eyes of the cutter and there might be substantially more profitable bits of business and better discount. Any kind
So
of
nice that you're always looking out for me.
Well, someone has to, do they not?
Well, I suppose. I thought I was looking out all right for myself anyway. Fine.
It's always good to have friends in the smoke.
Yes, but very rare to find ones that are trustworthy. I'm glad I found you.
He literally blows you a kiss. He just
Jonas smiles, pretends to catch it, and then walks out the door.
Very nice. So you move out a distance away from this pawnbroker's, and then you're going to try and have a conversation and deceive whoever is listening in.
I
Obviously,
think we could give it a go.
you can do a little bit of role playing with this, but I am going to need a sort of group deception, whoever is involved in said conversation.
Minty, perhaps best if you stay quiet on this.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Galen, I assume you've told a lie or two in your time.
One or two.
I thought so. Assuming that wasn't a lie. In which case, for your first lie, it was a good one.
The answer's actually 3 or 4, so
Ah, well, there we go. Right, I think we shall open up the box and so Jonas
Okay.
opens the box. I can't believe that he wouldn't take. It's just so unlike him. I have heard about. I probably shouldn't say this out loud in case anybody overhears, but over to the slippery eel. You know, it's Cheapside, but it's really quite well protected, and the people there they know how to protect items of value. I think that's probably the best bet. Don't you agree?
and are they more likely to actually take this then?
I don't think they'll ask any questions as long as we pay them enough money.
Well, that's kind of the only option we got, I guess.
Right. Well, we'll head over there immediately and get it dropped off, and
Perfect.
then put it back into the box.
Yeah. So lovely bit of role playing and definitely there. It's definitely going to have an effect, but let us see how convincing you are.
Was Galen and the roleplay enough for advantage?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you were working together, so one of you can have advantage on your deception roll.
Oh, for God.
I wish to portent that.
Oh,
You may have a 15.
you may have a 15 plus
15
5,
plus a
knocking up to
5.
20.
Thank
Brilliant.
you, Minty.
Diviners are divine. Beautiful. So, yeah, you portent it. Their questioning is subtle and the deception works very strong. You think at the moment they think you are heading down into Cheapside, looking to do business with William the Boss Tweed, heading to the Slippery Eel. Excellent stuff. This is going to buy you some time at the very least to do some other things. What are your plans now? It's sealed in the lead box, so you should be okay.
I think that we should probably head towards the Splendor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, are we doing the delivery first, or are we going?
I think if we're looking for somewhere safe to store this and needing to do a delivery to Diamond Cutter, I think that we're definitely heading in the right direction. Go and take both out in one fell swoop.
Yeah, sounds good to me. And we can keep our ears out for anything to do with Wendell while we're up there.
Indeed. And if we make a bit of money for this beautiful ruby, well.
I mean, how are you feeling about carrying this item that's worth 5,000 cogs? I mean, it must be tempting.
Oh, it's definitely there's thoughts running through Janice's head about how much money could get there and how many cogs and how much that could be spent and all of the wonderful things that could happen. But the effort of trying to then find a new fence or so it's just not worth it. Don't think. Hello, 5,000 cogs.
I mean, that could buy you
That's
several lifetimes.
I think anybody who's looking at Janice can definitely see this thought going through their head.
I mean, Galen would definitely just catch her eye and just raise an eyebrow that says, "You dare! Don't be
Oh.
stupid."
Fine.
Minty will grab
For
Janice by the
5,000.
hand and start walking in the direction of the splendor.
Yeah. To live as an
For
aristocrat,
5,000.
For one day is 4 cogs. So
Could live in the splendor. That'd be wonderful.
lifestyle expenses price per day is 10 gold pieces. That's the full lifestyle.
I could live there for a year.
Like a king. I mean, that's what we're talking. We're not talking about nobles. We're not talking about wealthy. Wealthy is only 4 cogs a day, but we're talking about like the heads of the mercantile houses.
For a whole year of living like that. I mean, just imagine it. Just
You'd have
let me sell it.
you'd have to survive.
Oh, I could hire people to protect me with that kind of money.
I
Absolutely.
think Mr. Cutter would find out and be very angry with you,
Oh.
Janice.
He would.
Hey, if we play our cards right, then we might be on a path where we get that kind of thing. Anyway,
Oh, yes, well. If he's wanting to pay me to live like that, then why would I say no?
exactly.
Shall we go then?
Yeah.
See how much he's going to pay us.
Excellent stuff. So you begin to make your way from the breeze south towards the splendor, and the breeze is kind of a sort of raised kind of hill, really, which is why they call it, with kind of large sort of tower blocks on, so that it is above the smog and the smoke.
Are you
And
able to share the map again, Andy?
yeah, absolutely. So you kind of headed from the neighbourhoods to the edge of the breeze, and now you're kind of heading south here. These are only major roads that are shown on here. There's an awful lot of back alleys and smaller side streets and the like. And you begin to make your way south. It seems very much that your deceptions have worked, and if there is going to be anybody trying to follow you or see you or even come and attack you, they are going to be heading down to Cheapside, a dangerous place for anybody to go. Even the peelers don't walk openly and free there. So you think you've brought yourself some time and some cover. You eventually arrive in the splendor, and perhaps you've been here before doing some window shopping or perhaps some 5-finger discount. I'm not looking at anybody in
Couldn't possibly
particular.
say.
It's not quite that the streets are paved with gold, but they are well lit and they are cobbled. There are numerous beautiful high terraced houses, parks, small sort of parks in sort of squares, and so much retail going on of all sorts of kinds. Stores from everything from fine pastries to expensive cigars and alcohol to wigs and hats and anything that you could name. It's here, as long as it's legal within the smoke, but it has a high price. You move your way through to the sort of district of guilds. It seems that the guilds thought, perhaps strength in numbers or whatever, that having a small area of the splendor where many of them operate from makes a lot more sense. Maybe it's just the convenience that the guild heads can get together, and you see the large clock tower of the horologists, the somewhat constantly repaired property of the hatters, the fine smell of baked breads from the Bakers Guild, and the beautiful sweet smells from the confectioners. And amongst all of this is also the Cutters Guild, and to all intents and purposes it is this beautiful jewellery shop. The windows are a kaleidoscopic, I've not said that properly, of colour, of gems sparkling in the lights. It's hypnotic, and you were talking about potentially living like royalty. There is easily 10, 15, 20, 100 times more value in this window than the single ruby that you have in your hand. They do not seem to be short of coin. You look at this beautiful shop, and this is your destination. This is the head of the Cutters Guild headquarters. And as you begin to approach the doors, this is where we will bring the episode to an end, as it seems that you're going to, with this gem in your hand, get an audience with James Cutter, Diamond Jim to his friends, and hopefully some help kind of resolving this situation. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Well done for surviving that very brutal attack from
I don't know how.
Butler. That was good. It was combination, the vicious mockery giving disadvantage, the dazing giving.
Yeah.
You worked together really, really well. It wasn't a full nimble right. Nimble right's
Oh, no.
normal armor class is 18 and its armor class was 16. It had half its hit points, but still had all of its resistances, and it wasn't doing multi-attack. But you are only level 2, and there is kind of 4 of you, so it was a balanced encounter. But it's always scary when you kind of have those encounters, because a single hit can completely change the dynamics of the combat, because as soon as one of you go down, it's less action economy. Yeah,
Out
absolutely.
of interest, how much damage could it have done with a hit?
It was, I mean, I say it was only 1d8 plus 4, but obviously,
so potentially a crit on Minty is an instant death.
yeah, no, absolutely. I'm not sort of taking it away. It could have, with the rules, all it needs is, to roll high, because we're doing the
10 difference.
Yeah. So it was you did very well to take that down. So well done to you, and you uncovered the reason why it just managed to. There you are. Thank you very much, because you received a strange gem from a stranger.
And didn't question it.
I didn't question it at all, which was beautiful. But it sounds that this doctor is a little bit underhand, and was spying on you. And as soon as he knew that you were not going to pass them on to him, it seems that he also sent one of these things that should have been decommissioned at you. So a nasty piece of work.
How did he get it?
Yeah, indeed. Questions to be answered, but maybe to be answered next session. Thank you very much. Thank you to chat as well for sticking with us. We've got a few people here. Hope you enjoyed it. We will be back tomorrow night. Untold Chronicles, The Dredges, and it's going to be an interesting one. I think they are going to go back to Hope and maybe deal with the problems now that they've got their wards into a degree of safety. So it should be a really interesting one tomorrow night. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay safe. Take care. We'll catch you all very soon.